Have you ever closed an app and realized you are tense or irritated and you cannot even explain why? Nothing happened in real life. Nobody said anything to you. Nobody threatened you, but your body feels like it just went through a conflict. If you know what I am talking about, stay with me. Welcome to the Becoming Her podcast. I am Faye Jones. Today, we are talking about how social media and modern media in general can shape your nervous system, your mind, and your heart. This is not a delete everything episode. This is a discernment episode. Here's the big idea: your feed is not just information, it is formation. If you do not lead what you consume, it will lead who you become. And I want to make this clear from the start. I am speaking to aspiring influencers and I am speaking to everyday people because a lot of everyday people are building their feeds like a brand without even realizing it. They are curating their family life, their opinions, and their identity like they are marketing something. They might not want to be influencers, but they are living like they do. Now, let me tell you why I am talking about this. I recently stepped back from social media myself, not because I am fragile, not because I think the internet is evil. I stepped back because I could feel my humanity changing. I found myself getting angry with people I genuinely care about, not because they harmed me, but because of the type of content they were posting. That scared me. I was not just disagreeing, I was tightening up inside. I was getting quicker to judge and slower to understand. I could feel the pull toward contempt, and I refused to let my heart be trained by contempt. And listen, this is bigger than social media. This is news media. This is magazines. This is headlines. This is marketing. This is advertising. This is the emotional economy of modern life. Fear sells, outrage spreads, shock gets clicks, anxiety gets engagement. And it is not only politics. People try to make this a political conversation because it is easier to argue about parties than to be honest about personal formation. But it is everything. It is the constant stream of drama, conflict, disaster, ridicule, and division. It is also the endless marketing machine that tries to convince you something is wrong with you so you will buy the solution. Even prescription drug advertising plays a part in this culture of fear, not because medication is automatically bad, but because the messaging trains people to scan themselves constantly, to suspect their body, to assume they are broken, to live on edge. That is not neutral. So if you have been feeling more reactive, more suspicious, more irritable, or just emotionally tired, there are reasons for that. Let us talk about the science in plain language. Your brain has a negativity bias. That means your brain locks onto threat faster than it locks onto peace. That helped humans survive. If you missed danger, you died. So the brain prioritizes threat cues. Now take that normal brain design and drop it into modern media. Endless threat signals, endless conflict, endless commentary that frames other humans as enemies. Your nervous system does not interpret that as entertainment, it interprets it as a constant environment. So you can be sitting on your couch, but your body is bracing. You can be in bed, but your mind is scanning. You can be at dinner, but your patience is thinner than it should be. Over time, that can look like anxiety, irritability, fatigue, insomnia, emotional numbness, and reactivity. This is why you can scroll for 10 minutes and feel like you need a nap. This is also why you can scroll for 10 minutes and feel like you need to argue. You are not crazy. Your system is being trained. Another force at play is intermittent reinforcement. That is a fancy phrase for a simple experience. Sometimes you get a reward, sometimes you do not. And that unpredictability makes you check more. Likes, comments, shares, views, new followers. Sometimes you get the hit, sometimes you do not. That unpredictability trains your brain to keep checking because the reward could be there this time. That is not just a character issue, that is a brain loop. Now, let us talk about social comparison. Social comparison is when you measure your worth, your beauty, your success, your parenting, your marriage, your income, your body, your lifestyle, your ministry, your calling against what you see in other people. And social media is basically a comparison engine. Even when you know people post highlight reels, your brain still reads it as a scoreboard. You can logically say, this is curated, and still feel, I am behind. That gap can create shame, envy, resentment, and hopelessness. And resentment does not always show up as rage. Sometimes it shows up as irritation. Sometimes it shows up as sarcasm. Sometimes it shows up as picking people apart in your mind just to feel balanced again. That is not who you want to be. Now, let us talk to aspiring influencers for a minute. If you are trying to build a platform, you are not just consuming the feed, you are working inside it, posting, planning, editing, tracking trends, checking metrics, studying what other people are doing, wondering why your post did not perform, trying again, trying harder. The numbers stop being data and start feeling like worth. Silence starts feeling like rejection. And when your income depends on attention, your nervous system is not just reacting to content, it is reacting to evaluation. That is exhausting. But here's the truth people miss: everyday users can live in the same emotional loop without calling it influencing. People curate their family like a brand. They post their opinions like they are campaigning. They manage perception constantly. They craft an image. They chase validation. They perform, and performance drains you because it splits you. There is the real you and the presenting you. There is the private you and the online you. And living split creates anxiety because your nervous system can feel when you are not integrated. You are keeping track of too many versions of yourself. Now, let us bring this into the spiritual lane, especially for believers, because I'm going to say what needs to be said. I do not want my love to grow cold. That is what hit me when I noticed my own internal shift. Scripture warns about this. Matthew 24:12 in the New Living Translation says, "Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold." Cold love often starts as cynicism. Cold love starts as numbness. Cold love starts as being quick to attack and quick to judge. Cold love starts as dehumanizing people made in God's image. And I am watching this happen. Believers are quick to judge, quick to attack, quick to gossip, quick to mock, quick to label, quick to assume the worst. That is unacceptable. Just because the world does, it does not mean we get a green light to do it. Truth does not need cruelty to be powerful. Truth does not need contempt to be effective. If your online presence is turning you into a person who enjoys attacking others, you are not being bold. You are being formed by something other than Christ. So let me give you a self audit, not a guilt trip, an audit. After you scroll, are you more loving or more irritated? After you scroll, are you more grounded or more anxious? After you scroll, are you more hopeful or more cynical? After you scroll, do you still see people as human or do you see labels and stereotypes? That after you scroll, are you more patient or are you looking for a fight? Because these are not small signals. These are indicators of what is happening in you. Here are some warning signs your media diet is affecting you. You feel tense for no clear reason. Your sleep gets lighter, or you wake up feeling tired. You get irritated faster than you used to. Your focus is worse. You feel a compulsive pull to check your phone. You feel envy or sadness after certain accounts. You feel numb, like you are watching life instead of living it. And spiritually, you feel dull. Less desire to pray, less hunger for scripture, more hunger for stimulation. If that is you, do not ignore it. That is your system giving you data. Now, what do you do with that? First, treat your feed like food. Ask, is this nourishing me? Not just, is this interesting? Plenty of things are interesting and still toxic. Second, set content boundaries before time boundaries. Time matters, but content is often the real trigger. Unfollow what drains you, mute what agitates you, stop hate watching, stop keeping tabs on people you resent, stop consuming content that makes you feel inferior or angry and calling it research. That is not discipline, that is self sabotage. Third, rebuild quiet. Your brain needs stillness to reset. Your nervous system needs calm to come down. Your spirit needs stillness to hear God. Even 5 minutes of quiet a day matters. Put the phone down, sit, breathe, let your system settle. Fourth, take breaks without guilt. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to justify it. If something is harming your mind, your body, or your heart, pulling back is wisdom. And for some people, a break is not enough. Some people need a full shutdown for a season because the pattern has become compulsive and they cannot regulate while staying inside the cycle. That is not failure. That is leadership. Let me pause here for a minute. Quick sponsor break because I only share tools I actually use. Rosebud Journaling is an AI powered daily journal that gives you personalized feedback and guidance as you write. It helps you reflect deeper, recognize patterns, and stay consistent without staring at a blank page. I still journal on pen and paper, and I still value therapy, but there are moments when I am trying to work through an idea or a problem and I want help digging deeper. Rosebud does that for me. It will notice patterns, ask better questions, and give prompts that help me get to the root instead of staying stuck in surface thoughts. It is not therapy and it is not life coaching. It is simply a tool you can use between sessions or while you are waiting for a coaching opening to process what is going on with more purpose. If you want to try it, go to fayjoneslive.com/rosebud. All right, back to it. I want to give you one more thought that matters. Modern media can distort your perception of reality. If you consume extremes all day, your brain starts to believe extremes are normal. Extreme conflict, extreme fear, extreme lifestyles, extreme opinions. Then normal life feels boring. Normal faithfulness feels invisible. Normal conversations feel pointless. And that is dangerous because your life is built in the normal. Your healing is built in the normal. Your relationships are built in the normal. Your character is built in the normal. The kingdom is often built in quiet obedience, not constant noise. So here is my closing challenge. Before you scroll tomorrow, take one breath and ask, who am I becoming when I consume this? Not, do I agree? Not, is it true? Who am I becoming? Because you can be informed and still be unloving. You can be right and still be cold. And for believers, that should never be the goal. Also, I want you to know this is not a one time conversation. In the weeks and months to come, I'm going to expand on this topic with research based articles in the Functional Health IQ section on my website. If you want the research and the patterns laid out in writing, that is where it will be. For more resources, visit fayjoneslive.com. I will talk to you in the next episode.